I went out with topwater action in mind and had a blast with my unweighted 9-inch sluggo until the current slowed as full high approached. Fortunately, the adjacent channel was loaded with fish that were more than willing to bite a smaller plastic bait rigged on a jig head to get down in the water column. I changed to a jig and kept right on catching fish. This sequence is from right after the slack tide forced me to put down the topwater and pick up the light jig rod rigged with a 5.5-inch freaky fish on a 1/2 ounce head. I mash the barbs down on the jig heads I use for Schoolies stripers so I can shake them off at the boat. Of course, some days they just seem to take the jig too deep to be easily shaken off, despite the lack of a barb on the hook. But even when I'm not purposely trying to shake them off, I don't mind it when they come unglued at boat side. That way, I get all the fun of the hook set and the fight without the hassle of handling them. Stripers have all sorts of sharp edges, and the fewer I have to handle, the fewer new cuts on my hands when I'm done for the day. You may notice me reaching down to the deck after each fish I landed. I use a golf stroke counter to keep a running total with Schoolies, so when someone asks me how I'm doing, I'm not pulling a number out of the air. I'm sure I forget to click a fish or two every now and then, so if I'm off, it'll likely be on the low side. We're looking here at a stretch of just over 4 minutes of uncut and unedited video that produced a fish every cast for 5 consecutive casts. Don't tell anyone, but my next 2 casts came up empty before I started my next string of 4 in a row. The 2 things I enjoy most in fishing are the instant where you sense a bite, whether you see it or feel it, and the instant when you set the hook. Swinging on a fish is my biggest thrill in fishing, and as soon as I've finished setting the hook, I hate to say it, but I'm thinking about the next cast and the next bite.